I think that the composition of Hanwha Life looks really good in particularly skirmishes, right? We're talking 2v2s, we're talking 3v3s. When you have this much burst, single target CC with it, you need to be careful those. There's the TP by Keria.
Yep, that's a big teleport in as Ona's clearing out vision. Peanut knows what's going on here, but he's actually staying on the Dragon. Let's see whether Zeus can actually help this one out as Zeka's moving in as well. And HLE standing their ground. They've got Delight moving up, but Doran's making his way in as well. No equalizer available, but there's the heroic entrance. Doesn't get any knockups as the bear goes down. Public execution, trying to get into that backline, but Ona gets himself out. First blood goes over, but both junglers are now lying on the floor, and I think Delight is going to follow as Zeus trying to get himself out of here. The Flame Spitter doing a lot of work, but Doran silences himself. Down goes Delight, as we stated. And Viper, he's chilling. So it looks like these grubs will be safely going into the hands of T1. Certainly good to deny that from the composition with an Ambessa that could be causing some problems in a side lane.
Oh, Delight is still level 5, as he has been a little more absent from the lanes. Always close, but never quite there.
Okay.
Zeus.
Yeah, Equalizer going to come on down here as Zeus looking for some alcove gaming. He has no way out of this one. Does have a bunch of dashes, but Keria does not care about that. Just throws him up into the sky. Still gets a big old shield. Zeus really trying to play this one out, but not able to do so. And that is going to be Feats of Warfare over to T1 with a harpoon from Doran.
Actually pressuring to play for that Dragon yet. Might be the case down the line, but yeah, you also don't have an item on Zeka yet. You don't have an item on Viper. And they're still going to be able to get this. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, kind of nuts. T1 not really interested in the Dragon this time around. Wanting to go back for some resets, they do that. And there's a Trinity Force for Ona. And with the Sundered Sky done, Trinity Force not finished, maybe that's what they were looking at.
For McHale's very early on.
Cease and desist has been used. Speaking of Keria, who is taking a little bit of damage here in the river. Delight going to be rotating in as Ona does find him. Heroic charge comes down as well as Ona has been exhausted. There's the Cyclone. Heroic entrance comes down as well, and there's the instant McHale's. That will kill Viper, and Ona is able to pick up the kill. 4-1 now in advantage for T1.
T1 is going to be itching to fight, right? That's what they do. As they are trying to still contest here.
Yeah, speaking of itching to fight, Peanut also wanted to get on in there.
The rumble!
Going aggressive. Doran getting into that backline. Cease and desist will connect. And there's the ulti out of Zeus as well. We said Gumayusi was going to struggle to play the game, but can they still win the team fight? Faker just able to ult his way out of there. Oh, actually, never mind. Didn't even do that. He just drove Shelly, and that is going to allow the double kill to come in for Doran. Faker also looking for Peanut, as not even going to die because Shelly gets rid of the turret. My God, T1.
Wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the case. I don't know if you can hold on to this bot side turret here, Hanwha. You cannot.
No, it's a bit of a bridge too far. They will be able to take that one down. And then the teleport in from Keria should mean that this Dragon is going comfortably over to T1. And maybe we'll just have to respect it as Control Ward's going down into this Banana Brush over and over again. Equalizer right on top of them as Chains of Corruption will connect, but down goes Delight because the rest of the team just couldn't get there, and then they're like, well, that's my cue to exit. They will give up a Nautilus and a Dragon, and T1 just hold on to this game so firmly. And now Keeper's Verdict comes down. Goodbye, Zeka. And now Viper is once again alone. Taunt comes in, Cease and Desist comes down, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to cease, and they are definitely not going to desist, although Ona is still going to die. Yeah, unhit Varus is just a little difficult to make work in a lot of these team fights, especially when there's Gallios and Wukongs and Rumbles.
Yeah, I think there are setups where you can get away with it. Constructed, like, nope, never mind, we don't need that. If we have a classic Otacon, I just think the problem is that if T1 does get set up, it's already hard for you to find a good team fight to get past Galio and Poppy. But if they are pre-set up, like, you just dive onto Poppy or Galio?
Oh, we're teleporting in, looking for a turn angle here. As Piercing Arrow going to be charged up here by Viper. He needs to try and keep himself safe in this fight, but right now they have no information about the Otacon's health bar. Keeper's Verdict just gets rid of the Ambessa as Peanut able to flash out but unable to steal away the Otacon. He'll just burn to a crisp as this time Viper might be able to keep himself safe. Never mind. There's just no way out for this AD carry, and Zeus trying to be a hero, but unfortunately he's on the wrong team this year, and T1 looking to push even further, but that, I think, was the backbreaker.
Yeah, the back wasn't looking good, Atlas.
It was not.
It'd been kind of creaky for a while, but it wasn't well and truly broken. It is now. With that, a clean ace. Otacon going over.
Burning it to a crisp. You know?
Okay, but then they were still doing the... Oh, okay.
Well, we're going to
Hail Mary.
Something to a crisp as in goes Peanut and immediately just gets interrupted. Cease and desist does get him into the back line, but I don't know whether he necessarily wants to be there. Gumayusi flashes away. Equalizer on his teammates mainly, but it doesn't actually matter here because T1 are so far ahead that it is just kind of doomed here for HLE. I do respect them trying to answer with more aggression.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, again, the game was already basically done. I don't think you really get any normal avenue back in, so might as well try to look for something. They got Guma Sums.
Yep. Carrier also got underneath an inhibitor turret and is likely to die. So he's obviously having a very good time. That's his first death of the game, actually. He was 0-0-14. But, you know, sometimes he's got to have a good time. Zeus is now looking for his other ex-teammate here from the bottom lane. And there's a public execution that will close the gap, and no way out here for Gumayusi. So Zeus is still gaming. Wait a sec. No, sure. The nail was it. We were talking about the nail.
Possible. No, I mean, even if they get it, I don't think it's enough is the problem. But if they get a good fight here, you know, dreams don't have to be memes, Atlas. They need to get Baron, though, and win the fight.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
Well, Zeker is also going to find Doran on this flank angle here as the Baron going down very low. The equalizer comes in. Heroic entrance from Faker out of the brush there as Zeus is going to be the first to die. And now the walking barbecue comes in to put them down. It was optimistic, it was cute, but it was not enough. Here for HLE, Zeka is, it's like Little Red Riding Hood walking through the forest, and there are wolves and all of those dangerous things.
That's been said about me. Optimistic, cute, but not quite enough. When I apply,
you got married, dude. It's fine.
Might as well give it a go. I don't even know, guys. It's okay.
Delight's giving it a go in the mid lane.
Yeah, we know the game is over. It's okay.
It's 14,000 gold. That's a big lead. Peanut is going to face check.
Not the jungle.
And yeah, the Faker jump scare does come in as he presses R because it was up and available. And that's 0-6 now. Not exactly the greatest of times, but I'm looking at the 0-5-0 Viper who needs 18 kills to crack 3K, and I don't think it's happening in this game. Still hope for the series, obviously.
Is this where we are starting the cope? So, expensive draft for T1 in terms of Fearless.
Oh, we already went over that.
Yeah, but we gotta give him something, right?
Yeah.
Are we going back to... You want to tell about one of your...
You don't need to give them something, I don't think.
You want to tell about one of your high school experiences? Like, I don't know, man.
I was just rollerblading, man. As Zeka flashes in, looking for a bit of an angle, but he is just going to get melted. And it's another team fight that is going very handily over to T1 as the world's smallest keeper's verdict does send Peanut back to the fountain as Zeus will fall down. And there it is. Turret's going to go down, and T1, yeah, I reckon they're feeling better after their disappointing loss to KT. Feels like a bit of that revenge has come out here in today's first game. Worry about here, of course, the rocks are going to be annoying.
That's the main thing.
But it's not necessarily as much of a, like, there's no equalizers being thrown around all over the place and stuff like that, which is kind of Rakan's worst nightmare.
To, like, level, like, mid-game?
What?
So if you have, they're not Aegis, right? But if you had...
Well, Faker is in a bit of trouble. He has to flash, and then the flash follow from Zeka is too good. And he'll be able to secure first blood and a solo kill. Find the grand entrance, but let's have a look at this one more time from Zeka's perspective. He just finds the shove.
And then sitting on only a tier, but still has the damage, making sure that there's no jungler to ruin his day. Actually, they're right there, frets the Q in between the two minions.
Very, very nice. Rise no flash is all that he says. As Peanut looking to move over as Faker is going to be here. And Peanut does get put in prison, but Ona not really interested in following up on that one. And with Talia moving over, it is a scary time. Ona might be in a little bit of trouble as Zeus is going to make the first roam, but there is the knockup onto two. Ona looks at the angle, doesn't quite get it, as now the needlework is coming through. Another shove! He's going to come down from the grave, and he's got Zeus trying to find Carrier here. The flash follow immediately, but the grand entrance was already right there. Still, the Jax goes down, and Ona isn't even going to be able to take down the Gwen. HLE, a dominating first skirmish. So it was fine, right?
I did, yeah. Also, I had skipped a grade when I was like in elementary school, so it actually was really funny. Me and my best friend got back into the same grade because of that.
Oh, that's actually
So it actually, balanced out nicely.
There you go.
It was good, yeah. Second half of high school was great. Oh, wonderful time.
Also, taking a year off for Arthur Lich King's pretty big.
Well, we still went to school.
That was the year after I graduated.
Ah, nice.
So that was pretty big.
Yeah, classic.
That was my
Good
first
times.
expansion as well. Maybe that was the biggest issue with the whole studying situation, was the beginning of World of Warcraft.
Even back then, we were making the same mistake.
There we go. Let's get off topic. So
Oh, no, you
I
are
really
a-
appreciate you keeping us in the zone.
You are a stickler for structure
Oh,
and
yeah.
sheets.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
follow
yeah,
the
yeah.
sheet.
Hi, I'm Brendan Valdez.
If you don't get the reference, watch Pog State. It's
Yeah,
great.
you certainly need to.
No?
Doran might need to also do a bit of watching. He does have some teammates.
There are there's both Rakan and Skarner.
Yeah.
And Hanwha Life's like, I don't know about this one. Maybe Zeus an issue?
Yeah, does find the counter-strike. There's the grand entrance as well. And Zeus, I mean, Delight's there to watch, but he is just dead. No making his way out of that one. Because T1 often gets Earth, Wind, and Fire. Don't tell me why. It's just a thing. All right, Peanut looking for an angle, but Ona finds him. The Impale comes on down. The Crescent Guard did come on through, and Peanut stayed alive for a little bit longer than he otherwise would have, but still, Delight is going to die as well, and that is two very quick picks for T1. Back in the driver's seat in an instant.
I want to see how they got behind him there. Because obviously you're expecting him to look for an engage, right, when you're threatening and you're pushing positioning in River. But what exactly happened there?
I feel like Ona was waiting in that brush
No, he was
for a very long time.
Well, he's in the banana brush. That was, I think, the fact that really cemented their death. Normally, engaging onto his inside is always something that comes with a big risk. Because if you don't kill him as cleanly as that he ults, and you waste tools on a champion that will auto you twice. So, yeah, just didn't check it. Flash E.
Yeah.
So clean. And even though the ult goes off, you can see it doesn't matter. The Impale's there. The follow-up of the Rakan, very clean as well, and the Delight goes in trying to salvage the play. Team fight tool?
Yeah, it's a defensive team fighting.
Let's look. Yeah.
As, yeah, Peanut thought that he knew what was going on. But he didn't.
No, that's...
Just wanders past. That is going to be the Rise actually picking up the Drake here, as Peanut not able to find a steal. And like I said, it's going to be a Mountain Soul as Faker once again phase rushing. That's going to help him out. And does find a Rune Prison onto Zeka here, who's looking to slow down Ona, but Carrier gets into the backside and will be able to find the Talia. Seraph's not going to keep him alive. And it's Ona that actually gets the kill. I'm not sure about this one, Gumiushi, as there is an exhaust, but the rest of the team make their way over. Peanut going to be cleaned up by the Scorpion.
Oh no, not the TP!
Yep. And the triple kill now for Ona, as Zeus looking to try and salvage the play, but instead I think he's just lining the pockets of his former teammates, and Viper is dead as well. That is a clean ace, somehow, for some reason, at 17 minutes.
Hey, as you highlight, it's just a clean ace, and now they are at a 5k gold deficit.
On to Gumiushi.
They just don't have the damage.
Yeah.
If Gwen's not there and Zeus can't be there, then they don't have the damage.
Now
Oh,
teleport.
he's dead.
Oh, dear.
Come on.
Well, he may have a circle. Looks like HLE are not going to be able to do anything about it.
No, they don't have second item spikes, so they can't really contest this.
Yep. And Faker is only going to get more and more
Atlas,
terrifying.
I feel robbed.
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to get a 3-game. A little bit too much middle gaming.
They are holding on to those 1-2-2 KDAs, though. Really only Viper's lagging behind.
Yeah, so Viper needs to die another time, grab a couple of assists and a kill, while the rest of his team doesn't get any.
Why can't... That doesn't work, because if he gets
That's still the task, okay? Zona could be in a little bit of trouble here, but Gumiushi is there to defend. Takes half the health bar from Viper in an instant as the Redemption comes down to try and keep them safe. Teleport's coming in, they're on a timer now as the cleanse out from Viper. He's keeping himself alive. Gumiushi now right in amongst the enemy team with 0 mana. He'll be dead as now Carrier off to the side and Doran gets in, finds the counter-strike onto Viper. The flash out though, and Viper is fine. The snip comes through. The blast cone though gets Doran back in the fight to dominate HLE, and now Peanut having to run his way out. That's a seismic shove, though. That's going to help out. And he finds the big rock. Down goes the Jax, and now Peanut realizes that maybe it's safe to go back in and do battle. And it in fact is, and it's an even fight.
Scientific journals are, Atlas. I'm not letting you get rid of this.
They're like mine that I have at home.
Who did the peer review?
That was my cat. Yeah, and he was really good at it.
Delight, no!
The cow, not doing so well. Is looking to try and stop it, but they have no information.
TP's coming in.
Yeah. Well, at least Peanut is going to be able to make it towards the pit. But Doran gets in, goes golden, and that is enough space bought here as Zeus now trying to do some of the needlework as Delight's also made his way back through. But that is going to be an impale only onto a cow, but I think T1 are okay with just giving over their Scorpion if it does mean securing the Baron.
Ooh, this might mean, though, that the Hanwha Life get Dragon, if only they had another Drake, and they would have gotten Soul Point. That might actually, like, between mid-turret, you take out Owner, which means that they don't get to be out on the map for the next 30 seconds.
Or T1 just goes and takes this inner turret. I mean, they're probably going to get that one anyway, because, of course, they've got Baron, and it had about a sliver of health. So they are just going to give the Drake, but it's about what else they can take on this map. And you can see already Faker is moving over towards that top side. Unfortunately for T1, they've kind of taken the majority of the easy turrets. Yeah.
Well, ancient history, don't bring that up.
Yeah, and then I reached my potential. It was great.
You were a potential man, but you actually reached it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, T1, they have the potential to win this team fight as well, but the rocks are down. There's the closing on to Faker, but he goes golden. There's the double impale, but the redemption is there to try and keep them alive. Carry is going down low, but they've already lost the jungler and the cow. Now Viper is trying to fend off Doran, but I don't like his odds in that fight. And Gumayushi stays alive. And now Doran is just inside the enemy base, as he is wont to do. I don't know whether it's necessarily a good idea, though, because this counter-strike is going to do nothing, and then he's going to die. As T1, they do win the fight. They do lose 2 in the process, so it's not necessarily a wash.
They pulled the trigger for real.
Yep, there's the information going over. Zeus looking for that angle. Not actually spotted, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop this as the Baron is just taken. Now Doran going to get flicked back, but HLE can't stop T1 from getting out because they have a Realm Warp, and now they're looking for a re-engage. Arcane Shift is going to be decent, but that flick is not going to connect from Zeka.
Take vision control, force them to face check. And every time up until this point, this is the first time T1 actually pulled the trigger on Baron.
Yeah.
By the way, like, they hadn't actually started it in earnest. But now that's the Nash gone. That is Soul Point going over to T1. And Hanwha Life gonna have to hold on for the next 2 minutes. I think the game will just continue, Atlas.
Yep, there might be an opportunity for HLE to actually, like, it's so difficult to siege this comp, right? You've got Talia, you can lock them in with walls.
Arrow's short range, by the way. Like, the siege for this comp is not great.
Yep. And if you're diving on top of an Alistair, you're not feeling fantastic. There's the flick back, not able to get Owner over the wall, as now with the Crescent Guard, Peanut looking to keep himself alive. True Shot Barrage does a lot of work, but Doran buys a lot of time as everyone's going golden. Carrier looking for some angles with this quickness and not actually able to find quite the value as Zeus almost just dies as Viper gets in front of the rocket. And Zeus keeps himself up with that arm guard. Still T1, they win the health trades. As now the Scorpions drive it in. The Realm Warp comes down as well. Viper keeps himself alive though, but still T1 have broken open the base. And man, this play is so disciplined from T1. No one dying, but look at their base. It's in shambles. The wall now going to come down, trying to convince T1 to leave. Oh. And at least at this point, they're going to acquiesce, but they're going to do so with an 8K gold lead.
Mid lane inhibitor. And now they're just going to keep on sieging, but top lane inhibitor wasn't taken yet. Doran's trying to make sure that that's not the case in Sin Zone. To Jax, it just feels bad. There's nothing you can do. And there is that second inhib, Atlas.
Doran on that flank angle.
Spotted. They're on vision.
Yeah, there's a counter-strike. It just catches Zeka, and there is the Dragon going down. The Realm Warp to deliver the rest of T1, but it's only Faker that comes in. Still, Doran gets himself out. The exhaust is onto Peanut. Not exactly highest value, as Zeus will block off the entrance. And Faker just buying some time where he can, but still able to get one of these kills. Still, Zeus gets into that backline, has to go golden, not out of the woods just yet as he does flash dash, but still dies. And now Doran being a menace, but will be going down himself.
They have to keep going!
Yep, the wall comes on through as Zeka is trying to buy the space. A flick back on Owner once again, but he gets the impale. And Gumayushi does so much damage, so does Viper though. Carrier uses that arm guard, and now Owner is tanking for days.
Look at the base!
And Viper is a monster! Viper! Gumayushi gonna get taken down to the GA. Owner is pretty much invincible as Peanut gets out of the brush. They're able to take down the Corki, but he almost kills Viper. And Owner is immortal. He is just impossible to kill. So thankfully, they're just going to be able to back away now.
He's actually the one that kills Zeka, by the way. If he doesn't find that Flash E, it might have been a disaster. But now, the Hail Mary Baron.
Well, it's going down extraordinarily fast. Owner gets headbutted out, so it's Peanut that's able to lock down the Baron. Still, Doran going golden, but the knock-up will interrupt. All right, the Realm Orb to try and get T1 out of there. They will leave, but the Baron is now circulating HLE. Oh my goodness. Okay, this goes in. Yeah, they just need to take down these turrets as quickly as possible. 34 seconds.
They have Soul. You need to make the most out of this Baron push, Atlas.
Yep. Peanut, can he find an angle in here? As this is the longest game so far, I'm pretty sure, in rounds 3 and 5 in the Legend group. Especially between these two teams, as T1 have 2-0'd them every single time.
Top lane Inape is back up. There's one more super minion trying his best.
Yep, there is the Weaver's Wall. Faker goes golden, but it's not going to save the turret. The Impale's only onto Delight, and they get on top of it.
They got him!
Down goes Faker, and now Carrier trying to be the hero gets into the back line. But my God, the damage as HLE tear through T1, and this will be a series chronicler. This is not even the series win, and we're losing our minds. This just means we get another one out of HLE and T1 here today.
The Journal knew! The tempo vibes were still there for Hanwha Life!
Maybe the other regions will now listen.
No,
that's what it is.
Well, no, I know that, but that's not giving me anything.
You need to do a bit of a flick of the tongue at the end.
No, I mean, Atlas, come on, I speak Dutch.
I'm getting a little bit bullied in that mid lane.
The early pathing!
CS still there, and yep. They are going to try and get a fight started. Peanut going to make his way in. The Flag and Drag going to be available, and he's just waiting for Gumayushi to flash. Oh, the flash follow! Peanut still got the hands, ladies and gentlemen! And Viper's got the bullets! That's going to be first blood for HLE! Oh man, these tempo vibes kind of getting ridiculous.
Yeah, T1 looks like they decide not to follow through, and I think they shouldn't. Oh, he's going to go in.
Oh, yeah, Zeka actually looking for an angle here as he gets into the Shroud as well. 5-point strike doing so much work. He'll have another one. There it is. And there is the ulti through. Zeka finds the second angle, but the fear is going to come in, and a little bit of an overstep there by the Akali.
Given how it played out earlier, as we do have a little bit of a fight here, but Guma, because of that earlier play, is behind, which means that Delight is out of the play.
Yeah.
And it looks like no contest is coming out, and for a Akali composition, I think you're going to be very happy picking up those early triple grubs.
Having a very good time. Even Zeus feeling pretty happy in this bottom lane, now that he does have the Kindle Gem as well as his Bramble Vest. This on actually with a slight gold advantage. Yeah.
Look at his positioning.
Yeah, that's still Flash Cataclysm. Yeah, he has no Flash, so he's just going to find a 3-man Shockwave and likely die as the Tempered Fate does come in, but I think it blocked the Paranoia damage as now Zeka gets himself into the Shroud. He should be able to backflip his way out or Flash. And there is the Flash, but still the Umbral Blades will come through. Flag and Drag gets Peanut out of there, but that is not the trade that HLE were looking for. This standing on a ward thing that they're doing here is also subpar, but still the cancel not going to matter. The magical journey not going to get taken. The Cataclysm comes down as well as Zeka gets in. Tempered Fate does go down, but the teammates are already dead. The Shockwave comes on through as the back scratcher comes out from Gumayushi, but doesn't find enough, and Faker is dead as well. Zeka just desperately wants a kill. The Jackson 5 tried to teach me that, but I just didn't quite get there.
No, I think you're doing great. I'm the one.
Is it also as easy as X, Y, Z?
Oh, now you're losing me, Atlas.
Imagine, like, the dream obviously is being a 4-team region.
Oh, hey,
but a 3-team region.
That's better than 2.
We're very happy about it. The orb not actually going to get utilized just yet as the Tempered Fate will interrupt the curtains. Still, the Rift Herald going to be taken here by Owner. The Magnustorm comes down, though. The teleport in from Zeka to deliver him into the backline, but the fight is already in a bit of an awkward spot, and Doran is so incredibly big. Zeka still looking for that angle, though, onto Gumayushi as the Shockwave doesn't find the mark. Still, the ulti comes through, but down he goes. And HLE just bit off more than they could possibly chew. And now they're just lying on the floor.
Back to 2 teams, Atlas.
There it is. I mean, we had a brief little moment there. I'm glad we got to have a conversation about it.
I get why you want to flank as a Kali, but I think the initial engage onto Owner looked good there.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying.
Was it a misfit? I'm not quite sure. Is they not going to get any extra kills? It's also not the end of the world.
For a flank angle, and there it is. The Ram can come on through, but Carrier can make this so incredibly annoying. The immediate flash has to come through from Zeus to get him back to his teammates, and now the Rift Herald is going to come down. That's looking to take an inner turret if it can, and HLE, they really want this soul point. And we'll see whether they can actually get in there. No one really pulling the trigger just yet, and now they're going to turn. Shockwave connects onto two, though, as a Tempered Fate. He's going to buy so much time for Doran still. He is going to fall, but it's in trade for Delight, as now it is just a mess inside the pit. Owner's spinning around, taking down Peanut. The Cosmic Binding, so incredibly good here from Carrier, and Faker is not going to be thwarted by Zeus. Zeker as well, just going to have to flash his way out and should be able to backflip to relative safety, but it's not going to save the fight.
The Carrier with a crazy carry of the team fight. That's what we were talking about earlier. Yep. That right there is why we see these Bard bans.
He is a magician on this champion.
One of the sources of damage, as in they go. Otacon's up.
Yep, flash out attempted here by Peanut. Let's see what he can do to try and escape, as that is a pedal, not a blast cone, but he's still able to flag and drag. Okay, there's the redemption, but it's actually avoided. Shockwave finishes him off. Oh, that Tempered Fate to deny a redemption heal? Was that actually what he meant to do? Because that's insanity.
I mean, even if it's just a setup for the Shockwave, force him to walk back, it still did its job, Atlas.
Absolutely did.
That's going to be Otacon, surely.
There's not going to be a lot of ways for HLE to find an angle here.
A jungler.
And they will be able to secure it. So T1, they do, you know, possibly take a fair bit of damage here on this turret, but even then.
An earlier fight as well. I think that right now they are really relying to get back any tempo in this game, any control, is to take down an individual target. But who do you turn on? Because as we can see, Faker doesn't do that much damage because he has, they're actually going to look.
Yep, looking for a bit of an angle, but the backflip doesn't connect.
Yeah, so this means that Zeus has to join the team. He really wants to be in the side lane because he wants to try and hit 14.
There is a Jhin in the bottom lane that has just gone home.
Yeah, what I really want to highlight is that the targets are Renekton, which is, you can't blow him up. He has Sterix, he's Renekton, he's level 14.
Yep.
No can do. Owner's honestly not bad, but with the spell shield it's kind of hard. Faker has Roa.
Well, there's the angle from Delight. They're looking for a double knockup, comes down as well. The Tempered Fate to buy some space here. I don't know whether it's going to be good enough, though. They lose the Nocturne, but Delight does go down, and Gumushi, he's free hitting. Doran gets in there, and the AoE is revolting out of T1. Doran just a massive crocodile to mop them all up.
To him, the fight might not necessarily be going your way, and
it's continuing to not go their way.
Nope. Oh my god. No way. He has Sterix. Sorry, not Sterix, Seraphs, but yeah, both give a giant shield. Rod-of-Ages and Riftmaker.
And Riftmaker.
He's actually, like, I don't know how much health he's sitting on, but he's not dying.
He's basically Galio.
They did in game 2.
Yep. And then hope that some more items can come in. There's Bellow's Breath coming down there from Zeus. Too much more going to happen here as HLE, they just need to respect the Bard. Exactly right. The Ram comes down, gets a nice knock up onto Owner, but now time for the re-engage as the Shockwave comes in, pulls Peanut to his doom as Zeka goes in like a madman and just gets obliterated. Viper now finds himself as the last man standing, and he ain't standing for long. Down he will go as T1 are gonna snuff out HLE here in the end of game 3. Oh man, what a pipe dream. Game 2 led us to believe as T1 just pull it right back.
And with this loss, Hanwha Life losing to their direct competitor for second place, a spot they were holding on to tightly, even though they had not been able to stand up to T1, to stand up to Gen G.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.